Hi, this is Carol Scalzo of Hit the Web Marketing. We are talking about what are the four elements of website design. The four elements of website design are mobile friendly, security, high performance, and SEO. Right now we're talking about mobile friendliness. Your website needs to be visible, well visible on each of the platforms, whether it's your PC, your iPad, or your phone. As we know, more people have phones and are traveling, using their phones to search while they wait in line, while they're shopping in the store to see if they can get the best deal. And you need to make sure your website is looking good and functioning across all platforms. And not just looking good, but if they go to search through things and click on buttons, can they do so without getting errors or hitting the wrong button? Can they buy with their, pushing buttons with their fingers? A lot of websites are not well designed in order for people to do that, and you're going to have people leave your website because the competition is doing it better. So mobile responsive is very important. Before you build a website, okay, so here are some of the things that need to be looked at for mobile. The font sizes, they're going to change between the PC and the iPad, and a web developer has the ability to check on the browser for all three of these platforms. And so there's no excuse why font sizes don't change between the platforms. Tap targets, where do I click? Like I said in the past slide, is it easy to be able to click on your website? And if it's not, if you can't do it on the phone, people are going to leave and they're going to go to the next person who has the website that is mobile friendly. The response time on mobile needs to be just as good as on the computer. People don't have patience anymore to wait around. The next element of website design is security. Website security, or SSL, you will see as HTTPS in the browser URL. It's a consumer trust builder. It's no longer just for websites who accept credit card processing on their websites. So it's not just for retail anymore. It's for anybody who's gathering any kind of information from prospects, clients, and so on. So every website should have HTTPS enabled. Google does grade your website based on this. And if you're not securing your website for your clients, then it will degrade your ranking. So it is a search engine optimization influencer. 4 reasons for SSL. Protects the data, providing a safe connection to the information in your website free of malware. If a website is not secured, and this is one of many different things that we need to do to secure our website. Now think about if a customer comes to your website and it is redirected and or downloaded with malware. It can ruin their hardware of their computer. It can also ruin their software. It can allow them to lose data. And they can come back and sue you. And who wants to do that? It's loss of reputation. It's not good business, and it just affects our business altogether, right? And for $70 a year, you can get SSL with any hosting company. It affirms your identity. It's better for search engine ranking. It also improves customer trust. So SSL with the website grader from HubSpot. This website we did a test on just to show you what comes up. It got a 0 out of 10 for security. So it doesn't see an HTTPS. Now this is a misconstrued flag. If you go to that website, it does have a secured area. So I'm not sure why it's flagging it that way. So it is a false negative. Securing JavaScript libraries. Now this is up to your developer. So as a website owner, you don't really have control over this. The person who is your website developer, your webmaster, needs to make sure these things are working for you. And there's no reason these days that a website should not be secured. So it should be a minimum with their deliverables. The next of 4 elements is high performing website. As I mentioned, it doesn't matter what platform people are on. If they're on their PC, their iPad, or their phone, they still expect the website to download fairly quickly. And fairly quickly means the page speed is about 3 seconds. So this page is not performing well. 14 seconds is way too long. People sometimes don't even have the patience for 14 seconds. The average download page speed should be 3 seconds. as well as page requests. Now, you don't have a lot of control over this either. This has a lot to do with how much functionality your website has and whether there's page requests for the code. A good developer can reduce the page requests for you, but this is not something that a business owner who does not know web development can actually influence. You have to ask your web developer to help you. Page size. Page size is definitely something, your website developer, there's images that are going to take up a lot of space and take time to download. And there's ways to optimize those images. So there's a lot of tools available for them on the web for them to make sure the page size is reasonable, and that affects your page speed. Okay, so it's a fact. We have a 2-ton car that can go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. So there's no reason why a website page can't be reduced to that. 1-second delay can result in a 7% reduction in conversions, and this could really add up. And the fourth element of website design we're going to talk about, and we're going to get into this a little bit more deeper than the other three because SEO is so important. Not that the others aren't, but there's only so much you can say about them. SEO is something that a website owner can actually have control over because you're going to go in there and create content. Once your website developer has created the website for you and they've created it in a content managed system, you have the ability to go in and create content, and you can optimize it. So that's why we're going to take so much time here. What is SEO? The practice of increasing the quality and the quantity of your traffic and ultimately organic search engine results. It's a long-term asset. You're going to be using paid ads in order to get in front of your prospects until your long-term asset or your search engine ranking becomes such that you're on the first page. Until that happens, you can resort to paid ads, and then as long-term asset, the organic ranking increases and gets better, you can back off on your paid ads. Website grader for search engine optimization. It tells us that this website is really good. It has done a good job on SEO. 30 out of 30 is as good as 100. So it's looking at permission to index all the pages, which means search engines are allowed to search all of the pages and look them over, see what they are about. Meta descriptions are intact. People have this website has done some work on their meta descriptions. Every page has its own specific meta description. They're all unique. Content plugins, they're doing a good job, and they're not using Flash, and the plugins are not causing any speed issues with the website. Descriptive link text. Every page has links to other pages within the website, and it has links to external pages on the web. Okay, so in order to get good search engine optimization, you first need to do some keyword research. And I've found that there's several different ones, and every time you start using one, it changes from free to paid. Now, the one I most recently use is Keyword Surfer. It's a free Chrome extension. Now, just to be careful, Chrome extensions, because they are free, are sometimes vulnerable to hackers, and so they put code in there. So you really have to be careful when you download Chrome extensions. And sometimes you won't know until after you've downloaded it that it's causing issues with your computer. Keywords everywhere. Initially when I started using this is a Chrome extension as well. This was free and now it's paid. It's not horrible. It's not that expensive. It's $25 a month at a minimum. The one I was referred to before this slide was Keyword Surfer. Now I use that. And you can see it's really great because it not only gives you keywords everywhere, it does give you keyword, it tells you the volume, it tells you how much it costs per click, and the competition. Competition is really important because what it tells us is that how difficult or how easy it is to rank for that keyword, and that's a really nice feature. So even though this one is no longer free, I'll probably be moving to it because it does give you more information than Keyword Surfer. Okay, with that, our next thing, we have on-page optimization, and there are 13 different key points here. I'm going to go through these really quick, and then I'm going to talk about them in detail, so bear with me. So you're going to see you need to use your keyword. After you do all this work in keyword research, you're going to make sure the best keyword phrase is used in the URL of the web page, in the title tag, in the header, and we call it header 1, and there needs to be only one. And we're assuming that you're using WordPress and we're using the plugin Yoast SEO. We use this, the best keyword phrase in the subheaders. We have, within a document, you need to separate all your content with not only a header, a main header, but subtitles. This is how it makes it easier for your reader to see what's on the page instead of having to read every single word, and makes it more interesting. You have subtitles, and those are defined with H2 through H6 within Yoast SEO. So this is a WordPress way of helping you optimize your content. In the meta description, we're going to use our best keyword phrases, as well as an image on the page, and there's an alt tag that we need to put in our best keyword phrase here as well. And we're using the same keyword phrase throughout all of these points on this particular page, for each page. Your content is very important. It has to be relevant, and it needs to be a minimum of 500 words. That's what search engines look for. And if you have less, it's not going to be good. They kind of, want some good content. So it's not hard to get to 500 words in a page if you do some research on the web. Keywords, make sure that at least twice your best keyword phrase is bold. And if you're a coder, it also uses the word strong. Provide unique content about a given subject. Okay, we need to have one link from this page back to another post within our blog, or actually anywhere on our website. Link back to a subcategory page and to the home page. Every page should have a link to your home page, and your website logo or your business logo should be that link to your home page. That is the most recent kind of website design best practices. And if you don't have that, it's kind of a sign of a rookie. So put your best face forward in everything you do here, right? Okay, so with that, now you don't have to remember every single one of those. In this particular video, underneath, if you subscribe, you'll see a link to our on-page SEO checklist. We have this checklist to download off our website, and you'll have access to that. So 13 ways to optimize content for higher ranking. And as I mentioned before, the tool we're using is the WordPress plugin called Yoast SEO. It's terrific. For every page, it tells you how well you're doing. It gives you a ranking on your optimization of the page. It turns red if it's not good. It turns yellow if it's okay. And when it's green, it's good. So our goal is to get to every single one of them green. It's not always that easy, but it's worth working on. This is the URL, and we're showing the difference between a good URL and a bad URL. For a good URL, it's going to be your domain name, somewebsite.com / and our example here is on-page SEO Checklist 2020. Now a bad URL, as you can see below, it just doesn't give us any indication of what the page is about. So why would we go there? When you are creating a page or a post, I fixed this up a little bit so it looks a little bad under the permalink, but on-page SEO Checklist 2020 is the title of the page, and so we use our best keyword phrase in the URL here. The best keyword phrase we use in the focus keyword, on-page SEO Checklist 2020. This is part of how we get our SEO on the page to go from red to green. And the next one, the meta description starts off with on-page SEO Checklist 2020. A good question, worried about your web pages are not showing up in Google search results. A good question towards what they might be worried about, or you're trying to tell them how this helps solve their problem. And then you come a short sentence about learn exactly how to optimize each page with our free 13-point checklist. Everybody likes something for free and something that's valuable. The title tag within our WordPress page is what helps us define what is showing up in the tab within the browser. So for example, on page, as you highlight over it with your mouse, you'll see on page SEO Checklist 2020, 13 ways to optimize content for higher ranking. You can see I've embellished the title a little bit here, and I'll show you where we do that inside WordPress. The couple of rules that we just want to keep in mind here, make sure this is a unique keyword phrase. Obviously, part of what we found that we want to use is our keyword phrase from our keyword research, and it allows for 70 characters. We're inside WordPress and we're in the Yoast SEO area at the bottom of the page, and we're on the SEO title. This is where you can not only use the keyword phrase, but you can embellish. We have a little bit, so you see how the line turns red. We are one character over, so it's not a big, I mean, it's working. So you can see that it sees the whole title. On page SEO checklist, and I've added 13 ways to optimize content for higher ranking. So people really get an idea of what your page is about. So really use this. It's really important. I think everybody looks at the tabs in the browser, and you can also put the name of your company in here if you want to do branding. And images. Every page or post must have at least one image. It's just one of the rules. So for images, every image has alt tags, and the alt tags are used to define what the image is about. This is so if somebody were to turn off the images on the page, they could see what's behind the image. You want to be really descriptive, and it makes most sense to use the best keyword phrase from what we're trying to do on this page. It happens to be on page SEO Checklist 2020. So that would be part of the alt tag. You could also add the name of your company, because images are indexed as well as content, and they're often indexed separately. And so when the images show up in the search engine results, having your name associated, your business name associated with that image does a lot for your branding and recognition. What we want to show here is the use of H2 through H6 tags. How you do that is by identifying each of your subtitles you identify as an H2 or an H6. And how I look at this is an H2 is the next category that is the next step down from your main title, which is your most important title of the page. And for example here, almost every bullet point here is an H2 tag. In some cases, you have subcategories underneath the categories. In those cases, you can name them H3 through H6. How do you do this? In WordPress, you put your cursor in the beginning of the lines. For example, perform keyword research first. You would make sure the cursor is at the beginning of that line, and then in WordPress, at the top of the page is going to be a drop-down list that starts off with paragraph. In that drop-down, you have options H1 through H6, and this is where you select H2. That whole line becomes defined as an H2 tag, which says how large you want the subtitle of this page. And so that's what you do for each one of these subtitles. Go through and determine if they're going to be an H2 or H3 or up to H6. Or I should say down to H6, because the higher the number, the larger the size of the font, and the lower the number, the smaller the font. Every page should, when you're creating your document, you should have a link to another page. This should be strategic, and that is, it should complement the content of this page. What you're trying to do is create links between pages so that a series of pages will rank for a specific keyword. So you're trying to accomplish, your goal is to rank for on-page SEO. Then you link to another page that has relevance. And so that's what we did here. We linked to Write the Perfect Blog, because SEO has to do with content, so we linked to that. And then we want to link to an external page. And Yoast for SEO will tell you this. So this is part of how you know it's graded. You can go from OK in yellow to green and good. Once you start providing good links, you're linking to other external pages. One rule of thumb to know about here is when you're creating the links, even if it's internal or external page, you never want to use the keyword string. You need to use something else. Search engines don't want you to use the same keyword phrase that you're trying to rank this page for. Don't ask me why, but that's what they do. Okay. And you're using your business logo to link to your home page. So every single page is going to see. Now that's just a best practice for website design these days. If you have you don't even need to use the word home anymore, right? It's just a kind of a known thing that your logo is the home page. Okay. So that's our website strategy, the 4 elements of website design. With our marketing system, we have available marketing methodology where you can get training on recorded training videos, live marketing training. We can get live marketing in person, custom marketing training. We also have professional services. We provide marketing consulting and coaching where we can help you create your marketing pitch, the marketing process mapping, scripts, and coaching one-on-one, weekly, or hour blocks. If you have any questions or comments on this video, please feel free to contact us. We would like to hear from you, and if you have any questions in any regard of this content, if on LinkedIn, you can go to hashtag AskCarol. We check that every day to see what questions are coming up, and we try to answer right away. You can also call me if you'd like, email me or call me. And again, like I say, you can ask any questions on hashtag AskCarol. Thank you. This is 4 Elements of Website Design. I am Carol Scalzo, owner of Hit the Web Marketing. It's been a pleasure. Thanks. Take care.